Okay, hey, welcome back. So this is day 3 of the Rain Totem Stardew Valley Rush Run. I changed up some of those syllables, but the premise is still the same, trust me. Okay, so in between this video and the last, I actually looked up some of the prices of the fish on the Stardew Valley wiki, just so I could do a better calculation of how much money I'd have for the fishing rod upgrade. Largemouth bass base price is 100 and starred is 25%, so that's 650. Bullhead is 75, so for the base that's an extra 300, which is 950 plus like 87.5. We'll just do another 300, so 1250, and then so 1350 or so. Carp is 30, base price is plus 25%, so an extra 8 or 9, so that's probably 150 onto that, 1400. And the chub is 50, so 1500. So we're basically pushing that right now, which is good. And that actually means if we catch 2 catfish on the way to Willie's on the docks, then we actually won't have to sell the clams either, which would be nice. We will see if that is a mistake or not later, but it's probably fine. And also, that was a mistake. We're going to put the jade into the bin. And like I said before, when it rains you don't have to water your crops, so we actually save a lot of time that way. And Willie's doesn't actually open till 9, so we do actually have some free time to do some fishing just before he opens. And catfish you can catch in the river, and at the south of the town there's still river tiles, and somewhere around here this is a good premium fishing spot. This will probably be the one that we'll be using actually later on once we get the upgraded fishing rod. Okay, no, it wasn't a catfish. Okay. Ooh. If we're lucky, this will be something we can sell at the shop. Probably won't be. But, okay, iron ore, it's not terrible. But, not immediately going to help us meeting the money needs for the upgrade. And probably once I get a catfish, I'll probably drop it actually, because I'm not very good at multitasking. But I think for people who haven't played this game before, no, okay, seeing a catfish for the first time, you'll see a noticeable difficulty spike in its behavior as compared to the other fishes that I've been fishing so far. Yeah. So we have time for 1, maybe 2 more catches before we actually... Yeah, I'll try 1 more, because that's trash. Before we're losing time before buying the rod. And that's Shane again from day 1, just walking past and disappearing off the top left, top right of the screen. Yeah. This day will basically make or break the whole run, I would say. Which is a little bit nerve-wracking even. We'll see. Well, first of all, we'll see whether I actually have enough money for the upgrade. It's going to be closer than I would like. And also, without the upgrade, even if you have the fishing rod upgrade and you don't have any bait, it functions like a normal fishing rod. Which is also not ideal. You just wasted 1800 gold for nothing. I thought I could sneak in another quick fish, but it's actually 920, so wasting a little bit of time. And I'm going to throw the glasses away because they are trash. And let's see where we stand. So sell everything, probably, I would say. Okay, that's not too bad, actually. We can buy 60. Like, I could calculate it in my head. Or I could just buy everything and then be lazy, which is what I did. Okay, so the upgrade with 68 bait is actually decent. We won't be catching 68 fish today, so it's more than enough for now. And later on, actually, you can get a crafting recipe to create more bait from bug meat, which is related to the mines, which it's not open until day 5, so I'm not going to worry about it too much right now. And I'll explain it as we find some delicious, juicy bugs in the mines. Can you discard? Yes, you can. Okay, perfect. So free up some space by actually equipping the bait, and now we're making our way to the river in the Cindersap Forest location where I'll be doing any little fishing for catfish. And this is where the real challenge kind of starts, and hopefully I won't fail too badly. So that's a catfish. Okay. Come on. So that was actually a very friendly catfish. They have like a jerking pattern, and I guess there's some type of probabilistic coding for that. And you can get, and it has a kind of lull in its behavior as well. But it doesn't always, one doesn't always follow the other. It can just jerk repeatedly for a very long time. And unless you are very good at anticipating its movements, it is very much more difficult to catch. Obviously, as the bar increases with your fishing level, everything is easier to catch, just because even if it jerks, it still might be within the bar range. And it really likes to kind of go really low down, or mostly really low down, actually. Which is also a problem, because I can probably illustrate it right now, like, if you go right down, it actually bounces, so it just hides at the bottom unless you approach the bottom with the right velocity of gradually softening. As you get there, you also it won't count as being in the bar, and you'll lose it still. Which I have done many times, like, ooh. Oh, yeah, okay. It's like, can I recover that? No, I cannot. So, 2 out of 3 so far, and they were actually silver and gold, which is good. That's as good as you can really hope for. Especially while we're still at the type of fishing levels where we're not guaranteed gold from being really deep into the river, because we have a smaller extension. Fishing our bait is always helpful. Oh, I also looked up the types of treasures you can get from max extension. It's not just iridium ore, it's actually a lot of the gems I was talking about. Oh, this I think is a catfish, but it had like a slow start, so if I don't catch this, I really am not very good. Okay. Cool. So I think this is probably the first real point at which you would just have to cancel your run if you don't meet the daily goal that you're looking for. Because difference, like, so I think the base price of a catfish is $2.50. So a gold is $3.75, and that's actually without the modifier you're hoping to get. Wow, if I catch this will be incredibly helpful, because I got, oh gosh. Yeah, that's disappointing. Oh, because treasures give an experience multiplier. Anyway, like I was saying, once you get to fishing level 5, you can select a fishing skill that increases the valuable fish that you sell. So if you put all the fish in the bin, and then go to sleep, and then select that, everything that you just put in the bin will be worth 25% more, which is good, very useful. And that will actually give you, create a large difference in the actual amount of gold you have early on in the game. Like, thousands of gold difference if you are catching even 2 or 3 more catfish with a 25% bonus. And they're gold or... Interesting. So, yeah, we are space limited like we were yesterday. And I'll probably have to be making some tough decisions in terms of what I keep. But easy decisions right now are low use energy items which don't sell for anything, like the dandelion. I'm actually just gonna reconfigure some of these. And one of the advantages now of being fishing level 3 or 4 even is that we're gonna get less of the regular quality fish, so we actually save inventory space that way. In terms of goals for the end of this day, I think at least 8 catfish. Anything less than 8 catfish and I'd be a bit disappointed with myself, but that's actually much easier said than done, especially the way I'm playing right now. It's very easy to lose catfish even if you have almost caught them, as I have shown the past 2 times I think. Like right now, oh, it's like it's in the bag, right? But it can very easily turn the other way. Okay. And you just basically ignore treasure chests when you have catfish on the line, because you don't have the time to spare. Oh gosh, it really just tricked me so badly. Okay, let's try and focus. Give it, put it on the leading edge, try not to... okay. Whew. So, a more skilled person than me actually probably could have got that chest, but I try and keep the catfish on the edge of the bar. So if it's at the top, I like to keep it on the top edge because I know it's going to jerk down at some point, and that gives me a couple more milliseconds to react to its behavior. And that's why I just didn't even go for the chest, because you can collect the chest, but if you don't catch the fish, you don't get the bounty. So it's a moot point. You need to be able to catch the fish confidently first, otherwise there's no point going for it. Okay, so we're at 6 already, which is pretty decent, I would say. I find that late evening, I mean, so there are kind of time schedules for different fish. I think it's beyond 10 PM you can't actually catch any more catfish, but even several hours before that I feel like I don't get many biting. I think maybe it's like there's a possibility to catch a catfish still, but because like bream, which is a late afternoon evening fish, becomes possible, I think maybe the probabilities and chances of getting one just decrease because it's overcrowded. That's just my theory. Somebody more knowledgeable than me probably actually knows whether that's true or not. Okay, if I can catch this, that would be great. If I don't, it's really my fault because it's just been hovering around. Need to catch it. Single coal. Not super useful. Yeah, so actually this broken trident is a weapon, which we don't have use for right now, but could be useful. I've actually never fished one up when it's still relevant damage wise. I will probably look to see how much it's worth, because if it's worth a considerable amount I will gladly sell it. Oh gosh. Yeah. Catfish also have this move where they just immediately stop dead and laugh at you as you predictively overreach by shooting the bar up. And yeah, it did that just then. Energy wise, I guess could be doing, well, we've got a lot of catfish, so I actually am not too upset that our energy is relatively low for 5 PM. We can still eat chub even, not buy. Oh wow, that is great. Double emerald, that's 500 gold. And 3 wood is worth less than 10 bait. So that's why I threw the wood away. We'll probably get more algae before the fishing run is over, but I'll also eat that just to give me a temporary space. We're also getting a lot of chests, which is lucky, you know. It's kind of like a first world problem to be like, oh, I have too many things to choose from to keep in my inventory. When you should just be grateful that you've got so much choice. We're much less likely to find a second frozen geode come up. Like, pound for pound, I would keep a geode over coal. But I think we're more likely to get more coal from treasure chests. Okay. Focus time. Yeah. Ignore the chest. Need to catch the catfish. Oh, okay. Thank you, catfish. You were very, very, very kind. And I'm immediately proven wrong. Oh well. We have 8 catfish already and more gold and silver, so 375 plus an extra 25. Let's do some maths. 37.5, 75, 18.75 on the... Is that right? Yeah. So 92.5 onto 375 is for... Should be able to do this. Oh gosh. Okay, I'll do it after hopefully catching this fish. So yeah, keep it on the lower... Okay, didn't work that time. Don't overcompensate. Okay, it's really just chilling there. Thinks it's got me. But I am tenacious. No, I lied. I'm sorry, Mr. Fish. Please just bless me with your presence. Ooh, just missing out on the leading edge. Yeah, so you have to be very careful to overcompensate for the direction. Ooh, okay. We will need energy later, so I'm actually going to eat piece chub right now. I should not have thrown away the coal, but we have 2 emeralds, so, you know. And a rare trident, which may or may not be useful. Okay, so 375 plus 92.5. So 475 minus 7.5. So 467.5. That's a lot of money for a single fish. Starting to catch bream now, that's fine. So 467.5 times 6, so times 2, 935, and times 3, so 2805. Yeah, so that's a lot of money just for the gold stack of catfish. And then without doing super detailed maths, I'll say 3 silver is 1,000 for the 800. And a lot of shad even, not chad. 10 shad. Doing pretty well. 10 catfish and I'm happy. 10 catfish with majority gold, happier. I think my record, I would have to check to be honest, but 12, 13? I don't know if it's much more than that. And I don't know what the actual record is. It's probably something ridiculous, like mid-20s. If every fish were a catfish and I caught it, I guess I would have 19, 22, 23, and I ate 2 chub. I have 25 catfish. Makes me feel a bit inadequate, I suppose, but that's also very unrealistic. And yes, I'm serious enough to try out this strategy, and I do have an end goal in mind, but I don't have the stamina or patience to continuously reroll these first couple of days until I get something that's unarguably the best, I suppose. I'm a serious speed runner. I am not, in that sense. Yeah. Like, I don't know, my whole motivation for doing these videos in the first place was because I think there is an interesting depth of strategy, especially in decision making, of what will you do in the first few days, how will you actually get to this particular goal you're aiming for. But there are several RNG dependent things, and I do know people who run RNG heavy games, but the actual length of this run is not actually speedrun friendly, right? I'm trying to make as much money in year 1, and probably for the entirety of spring I'm actually going to do like 20-minute videos of each day, and there are 30 days in season, so you know, that's 10 hours, and that's only to the end of spring. I think as the run gets going, once I've actually got rain totems and provably have a reliable... Okay, so I cannot multitask and catch a catfish. That is what that showed. I think I'm at level 5 though, just by judging the size of the bar, so that's good at least. Yeah, once I'm at the point where I have a sustainable source of rain totems, I'll probably start doing day recaps and then maybe highlight specific points that are interesting. Like, once I'm at the milestone where I'm actually able to plant seeds across my whole farm, and I have a reliable source of rain totems, then I don't really see... yeah. People don't want to see me, for example, pick all of... Or maybe they do, actually. I don't know. I guess I can ask people what they think is worthwhile watching. But there is a certain amount of tedium which will be proven to be unnecessary towards understanding what I'm doing. So I assume I will be kind of splicing together multiple days at that point. And then hopefully do a nice recap video at the end of winter, showing everyone how much money I made, and then using that as a goalpost for any other future run. And I should do a traditional run as well, just to see whether it was viable or not. Still throwing algae away. I'm at the point where I do want to start stockpiling chub as an energy source, but at what cost? I do want selfish. We'll see. Maybe throwing away the geode or the coal at this point is worth it, or even the iron, actually. The only thing I'm definitely keeping is the emerald, and for kind of interest's sake, the trident. just because I really don't know what that does for us right now in terms of money. And it will actually speed up the mine run somewhat, because it actually has decent damage, especially compared to the rusty sword, which is, I think, 2 to 4. Very bad. Oh, almost lost the treasure because I wasn't paying attention. You want to kind of build up the bar somewhat so that you can actually go and chase the treasure. Okay, 4 lumps of coal, so I am glad I did not get rid of that. We don't need the energy for tonight, but to be honest, geode at this point is something nice to have later, but an extra 100, 200 G here or there will probably be more useful. And we're going to fall asleep in the forest tonight because, trust me, I've done this many times and it doesn't give me an energy penalty. If it does, I will eat my words tomorrow, I suppose. But yeah, I've seen the day 1 energy penalty before, but I've never seen a day 2 or day 3 energy penalty. Okay, another catfish. Can I make it to 10? Not with that behavior. Okay, it felt sorry for me, so it gave up. Thank you. Oh, and that was actually after 10 PM, so maybe I'll have to revise what times you can actually catch fish. I keep saying catch fish, but I mean catch catfish. And I think day 4 is always pre-programmed to be sunny. Otherwise, re-rolling days, if it weren't, and it could be rainy, re-rolling your complete run until you get 2 consecutive rainy days would also be worth it. Surprisingly jerky for a charbite issue. Yeah. 51. So yeah, just as a comparison, we have caught a lot more fish than yesterday. And that's the power of the upgraded rod with a supply of bait. If you don't have any bait, then it just functions like the regular rod, which is not what you're aiming for. Let's see, 2 chub for 2 geodes. Was that worth it? Maybe. Something else to note, when you fall asleep outside of your house, later on you do get energy penalties, and regardless of the time, you do get charged money for the service of being dragged back to your house. But it's at a fraction, I don't know what fraction, and it may also scale with the time you've spent playing in terms of days, but it is a fraction of the gold you have on hand. There's no bank or storage, so you just as a simple farmer, you carry all the money that you have in the world around with you. So because we have 0, we actually won't get charged anything because we don't have anything. So that's also good for us in this moment. Obviously, spending too much on bait so that you don't have access to that money later is bad, but we will probably go fishing again at some point in spring, so it's actually this 40 or so bait that will be left. But by the time we finish fishing today, won't be wasted. Yeah, I guess. Am I happy with today's haul? 10 catfish is decent. It's not like groundbreaking, like it won't give me so much money that I'll optimistically change my strategy for something else. I'm still going to stick to the original plan, but it doesn't ruin things, which is always good. And I'm starting to get a small bank of chub as well, gold star chub, which I'm happy about, because instead of parsnips, because I chose to go potatoes, they will be my early energy source in the mine. And I should really be perfecting everything that's not a catfish at this point. But like I said, need to... It's not just about in-game skills, real life skills count too, and I need to be able to talk and perform in the game. That's not the best. We can fish one more time. And there are known bugs actually around fishing. This is going to be an exploit-free run, so you won't see me like secretly pause game time with menu switching, but that is definitely possible, and you can actually basically fish for a much longer time. I think it's 2 or 3 times as long if you do exploit that. And yeah, we got to 5 fishing. And as I said, whenever, or as I will reiterate or re-emphasize, when you get to level 5 in any skill, you have like a mini skill tree, and you get to choose a skill. 1 of 2 at level 5, and then depending on which skill you chose at level 5, that opens up 2 more options. So there are 4 like level 10 skills, but only 2 will be available to you at any one point, and you still have to pick one. So we're picking Fisher. We haven't done any trapping at all in this run, and we won't, because basically it's not really scalable in terms of making the most money. Farming is the best thing you can do to get money on a large scale, I would say. But very early on, fishing before the mines are available, and before you really have any means of production to mass produce crops, fishing with the fishing rod does make a lot of money. So that's going to be influencing our fishing skill choices, and this one is just very easy to explain, as fish are worth more. And we're not crafting crab pots, so we don't need to worry about that. If you are interested in pots and what they do, like, feel free to leave a comment or ask me in a message. But I'd imagine most people playing or watching this have cursory knowledge of the game, so you probably know the function, and for me to just be like, I'm not going to use them because they're not useful for me, is probably good enough of a reason. But for any people who are actually new to Stardew Valley and you want to know anything about the game, which I'm kind of just glossing over, yeah, feel free to leave a comment. And yeah, that's the end of day 3. It looks like we did terribly, but that's because all of our fish are actually in our inventory still. We haven't sold any. And yeah, that's the end of day 3. So I will pause the video here. Thank you for watching. And yeah, right now nothing has really gotten super interesting, and this is the type of strategy you would do regardless of what eventual goalposts you have. But yeah, I'm really just doing this in real time so that people don't say like, oh, well, on day 7 I saw you do this, and that doesn't really match with, well, you could have done anything in day 3, maybe you just cheated or took a save file. So that's why I'm kind of recording everything just from the beginning, so that people can really see how everything was built up. And also, this means it's kind of transferable to any type of strategy, so if people are just curious about what I do, or what a lot of people do, this is not a specific strategy to me in the early game of Stardew Valley to min-max it, then here is some video proof of what is useful. Alright, so thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Oh.